Ahoy there, Chummers, and welcome to the Sixth World, and today we are going to be taking a look at the core supplement for Magic in Shadowrun 3rd Edition, Magic in the Shadows. And I'm just going to say it right now, this is another book that you must buy if you are looking to get into Shadowrun 3rd Edition, or if you are currently in Shadowrun 3rd Edition and looking to expand your game, or if you just want to give Magic in your game just that little bit of extra flair, a little bit of extra character and that sort of thing. So what does Magic in the Shadows have in it? All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the table of contents. So the first part of Magic in the Shadows is just the developer's letter at the beginning, like all of these books in 3rd edition had, just a little bit about how the process of creating the book and so on and so forth. And then you get a little bit of background information on Magic in the Sixth World and how it relates to society in general. And then you've got Paths of Magic, which gives you some extra options for adding a little bit more flavor to your awakened characters in Shadowrun. Now, Magic in Shadowrun is... It's magic. A fireball is a fireball. It doesn't matter if it's a shaman casting it or if it's a mage casting it or whatever. All magic pretty much works exactly the same way. But the paths of magic give you some little bit different ways of working magic, different ways of looking at things that add some character to the magician that you're currently playing or that you're wanting to play, which is really, really good if you've got a character you want to do something a little bit different with, or if you're a game master, if you want to throw some curveballs at your players as well. So you've got different paths that you can go in, different schools of magic, essentially, different traditions. And they've got some awakened oddities, which looks at things like psionics, miracles, and insanity, and how that affects magic or can affect magic. Again, just gives you a little bit of extra flavor. And then some more options for creating awakened characters, some more options for using magical skills, ritual sorcery, enchanting, designing your own spells. And then it goes into initiating and meta magic and learning those, how to initiate, how to use meta magic. Talks a little bit about the meta planes and that sort of thing. Some more rules for spirits and another look at how spirits interact with the world and some different types of spirits that correspond to some of the different paths that were talked about earlier. And then it goes into magical threats. And this is my favorite part of the book because it's always a fun thing for a game master to have new and exciting enemies to throw at their players. And then, of course, you got the Grimoire, which is just all the different spells and powers and totems and that sort of thing. So let's actually take a look at a couple of interesting parts of the book. So let's go ahead and look at let's look at the paths and the awakened oddities. So we're going to skip through the introduction and the awakened world. Again, this is background information and how magic relates to society at large. It's got touches very briefly on how different religions see magic, how the law sees magic in different countries, how business is used how magic is used in business and medicine, and so on and so forth. And then it gets into the paths here, and again, we've got the art in this book is just phenomenal, and I think it really does a great job of it really does a great job of portraying urban fantasy. I wouldn't call a lot of the pieces in this book kind of really cyberpunky, but they're more urban fantasy, and brings that aspect of Shadowrun brings it to life. Basically, it's really cool. So you've got some different paths, and how they can be used to add some flavor to your game. Had some things for some different shamans, ancestor shamans. A lot of this collects stuff that was in previous books. For example, ancestor shamans. It's a shamanic. I have no idea if I'm saying that right, but whatever. It's a tradition practiced in Africa and actually made its first appearance in the Cyber Pirates book, in the section that talks about Africa. So is going to be collecting a lot of information from a lot of previous books and just kind of bringing it all into one place. So you don't have to pop around to 5 different books to get some different magic users that you want. You've got the Path of Voodoo, again, from Cyber Pirates, how voodoo works in Shadowrun and that sort of thing, the Loa and zombies and all that good stuff. You got the Paths of the Wheel from I believe this is from one of the tier supplements. You've got different adept options as well. Again, magic is magic. It all works pretty much the exact same way, but this gives you a little bit of extra flavor. So you don't have, your mage. Your mage is not the same as the other mage across the table or whatever. It gives you some options on spicing your games up a little bit and throwing a little bit of a curveball towards different players. Then you've got the Awakened Oddities. So you've got Psionics is the first section in here. It really touches. It doesn't go into explaining psychic powers fully. It's just a little section, but it does give you an option if you want to create somebody who sees their magic more as coming from the power of the mind and that sort of thing, rather than actual magical manipulation. And then it goes into touching a little bit of miracles. So maybe you've got a mage who maybe they're devoutly religious and they're not casting spells; they're performing miracles granted to them by whatever god they worship. This gives you a little bit of an idea on how to bring that aspect into your game, and then it touches a little teensy bit on insanity and how that relates to magic and how that can affect magic. And then it doesn't really go into any other paths like toxic shamans or anything like that, because that's all covered in the magical threat section. Then you've got the Awakened Character section, which gives you some more skills. It goes into some more rules for magic users, clarifies some things as well. It gives you the option for Geisa that allow you to expand your magical power in like a cheaper way, really. It's been a while since I've used this. I've never really used this aspect of Shadowrun. I've never had a player use it either. Magical skills section, and again, we got more of that really cool urban fantasy art in here. And then you got the this section, the Awakened Magical Skills, gives you some more rules for using magical skills, and it expands on the magical skill test and that sort of thing. And the last section, we're not going to go through the entire book, but the last section that I kind of want to look at here is the threats section, the magical threats section, which I think is pretty cool because it gives you the option for more enemies to throw at your players. So magical threats goes into potency and spirit pact and all that sort of good stuff. And then it talks about toxic shamans and how toxic totems are used and how they cast their spells and interact with the world around them. You've got options for insect shamans, which I've had one person who constantly bugs me to play an insect shaman, and I'm always like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. This is different than the spider totem, the spider shaman totem that you'll find in, I believe, in the core book and also in the beginning of this book as well. If I remember correctly, insect shamans actually are shamans that summon insect spirits. If you want to find out what the deal is with insect spirits, best way to do that is to take a look at the Bug City book, which is one of my favorite books in Shadowrun, if not my most favorite book in Shadowrun. So definitely insect shamans are expanded on more in Bug City, but this brings their rules into 3rd edition. Also talks about insect spirits and how they're summoned and that sort of thing, and their stats and all of that goodness as well. Fun fact, I almost killed one of my parties completely with an insect spirit. I sent a roach spirit against them. I didn't realize how powerful they were because I'd never used it. I was like, oh yeah, force 5 insect spirit. It'll be fine. They'll be able to take care of that. Yeah, I almost killed the entire team of 6. I think I killed 2 people, knocked 2 more people out, and the others they ran like hell. So yeah. Yeah, be careful when using insect spirits. And then it goes into free insect spirits as well, which is absolutely frightening to think about, and some of their insect spirit powers and that sort of thing. Blood magic, again from the Astlan source book. Blood magic goes into a little bit of detail with that as well, and how it works in game, brings the rules up to date as well. And then it goes into some of the corrupted, which the corrupted are just basically evil magicians essentially. But gives you some rules for that. Petro voodoo, so evil voodoo, essentially. Twisted adepts, and that sort of thing. So, yeah, this section is really, really good if you want some really cool bad guys and some really insanely powerful magical threats to throw at your players and kind of shake things up a little bit. Or maybe, you know, if you want to completely kill your party, you can you can do that too. Stats for everything as well for the insect spirits right here, all the different ones. And then you've got the Grimoire, which essentially it has new spells in it, but then again, it also has some older spells in it as well. You got adept. I don't know why I couldn't say that word for some reason. Adept powers, new adept powers, as well as I believe some of the previous powers as well. You've got the totems for the different shamans in here, some new ones and some old ones. Again, a lot of this is going to be pulling together stuff from previous books and previous supplements, all into 3rd edition, into one specific location. But again, it's great to have. And then, of course, you've got, you know, where everything is located. You got a reference guide. You got a spell table, which has the stats for every single spell on here, the basic stats for every single spell on here. So you don't have to go flipping through 100 different books. Then you got a special magician character sheet. If you've got any ally spirits or bound spirits, you got a record sheet here to keep track of all of that good stuff. And then an index for the book as well. And then we end on a shot of Mr. Dark. So, Magic in the Shadows. Is this a great supplement to have? Abso-freaking-lutely. If you want to bring more magic into your games of Shadowrun, if you want to add a little bit more flair to your spells and your magicians in your games, if you're a player that wants to do something just a little bit different and something just a little bit unique, this is going to be the perfect book for you to play a magic user or use magic in 3rd edition. Again, you're going to need the 3rd edition core book in order to use this, but even if you don't play Shadowrun 3rd edition, if you have no interest in Shadowrun 3rd edition, this is just a neat little book to have. It's probably one of my favorite supplements out of all the core supplements, if not my most favorite supplement out of all the core supplements. I would say Canon Companion and Shadowrun Companion are probably going to be close seconds, but I think Magic in the Shadows is probably the top. So let me know what you think of this book. Do you own Magic in the Shadows? Have you used it before? What are some of the weird and wacky magical things that you've been able to create with Magic in the Shadows, or some ways that you've been able to use some of the unique rules in this book to spice up your games and frustrate your players just a little bit? Let me know in that comment section below. As always, if you liked what you heard, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Both of those things help me out quite a bit, and they will continue to help grow the channel and feed that YouTube algorithm. If you want to support the channel more directly, we've got a Drive-Thru RPG affiliate down in the comments below, or in the description of this video below. I'll put a link for Magic in the Shadows as well if it's on Drive-Thru RPG, so you can pick that up if you want. You can also support me on Patreon or become a channel member. And with that, all that out of the way, and that said, I will see you all next time. And that's the chip truth, chummers. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more Shadowrun content. Hit that notification bell so you will always know when I upload a brand new Shadowrun video, and until next time, remember to shoot straight and never, ever deal with a dragon.